Hello everyone, this is Crystalmania and welcome to the 16th week selling results video. This week there were quite a few sales, so I believe there were 13 card sales. If I'm wrong, I will post it up on this video here, but there were a lot more sales this week than I expected, so it was a pretty busy week for getting cards out to buyers, and I will probably go into this video right now because there's a lot of cards to go through. So the first card that you're seeing on the screen here is an Absol EX from Obsidian Flames. This is one of the cards that I got from the 30 card listing on Craigslist, and this is the first card that's sold, but this card also sold with the Gyarados EX card, and they were combined ships. So I will give the prices for what I listed as, and then I will probably do the average of the two cards because eBay doesn't list the individual prices for each card. So I will probably do the averages because there were some combined shipping cards this week, so I will do that. So I just want to let you guys know ahead of time in the video. So basically this is the Absol EX full art card from Obsidian Flames, and this card been on my eBay page for a little while, relisted a couple times, and this card finally sold, and then this card sold for about $2. That is what I listed it for on eBay. So after combined shipping, taxes and fees, and averaging out the cost for the Absol EX, I believe the net profit was about $1.08. So I believe that is under TCG market value, but it's combined shipping, so it kind of combined the prices of this and the Gyarados EX card. So you will be seeing the Gyarados EX card now. This is the second Gyarados EX card that I have from purchasing from the same lot as the first Gyarados EX and this Absol card. So it came from that same 30 card listing on Craigslist, and this card I was selling for about $1, and this one I just listed pretty much right after the first one sold the week before, as you see in that video. So as I mentioned, this card was on my eBay page. I sold it for about $1, but because it was combined shipped and averaged out in terms of pricing, the average between this card and the Absol card after shipping and fees came out to $1.08, which is right around where it is selling at on TCGPlayer market value, if I remember correctly. So the Absol was a little bit lower, but the Gyarados was a little bit higher, so it kind of averaged out to be about $1.08 for the two cards after doing the math for the net total value for these two cards. So that was a great sale there, and this was the very first sale, I think the Sunday of this week or something like that. I remember there were two sales this day. Like, these two cards sold, which I didn't even expect for these two cards to sell, after the Hoopa EX and Ice-Q EX cards. And then later that day there was another sale for one of the cards I did not expect to have been sold. So this is the Elesa Sparkle card, and this is one of the cards I purchased in a 4-card lot with the Deoxys VMax. This card had been on my eBay page for quite a while, and I had it priced pretty high for a while, closer to TCG market value, but then I eventually lowered it, realizing that 1, it wasn't selling, 2, it was probably a bit too high for market, and I don't think anyone was even looking at it. So I also offered free shipping on this card, which was a first because I haven't really done free shipping before. But once I turned free shipping on and it was close to the end of the bidding time, I got an offer for this card, and the offer initially was pretty low. If I remember correctly, it was like $9 for this card, and I was like, whoa, that's way too low. So I did some negotiating with the buyer, and we came out to about $10.50, because I remember sending the offer, and I wasn't sure if they were going to take it just because I sent it and they were responding pretty quickly, and then I didn't hear anything back for a while, so I just figured this card wasn't going to be sold. And then later the night that I sold the Gyarados and the Absol EX, the Elesa Sparkle was sold. So this card basically sold for $10.50. That's what I had mentioned before. $10.50 was the offer price that was accepted, and after taxes and fees it came out to about $7.90 net profit, which I believe is less than TCG market value, but the trainer cards definitely fluctuate. But I was okay with it. I wanted to move on from this card, and it's going to a better home to the buyer that bought it. So that is the third card that sold. And then the next 3 cards that sold were the 3 promo cards that were the Charizard promo cards, I believe, from Scarlet and Violet. So these all sold together, but this is the Charizard V. I bought these 3 cards from a lot listing on eBay when I first started selling cards back in end of July, early August. This was one of the first deals I purchased, and you'll see this listing in my first delivery day video. And this is the Charizard V card. I remember when I first bought the 3 cards, I didn't know that they were part of a set. I thought they were just cool cards that were Charizard arts. I didn't know that they were a complete promo set. So once I got them and realized that, it was quite interesting. But this is the first card that sold, and this card I had listed up on my eBay page for about $7, and by the time it sold, it was sold for about $7.50. And with the averaging price between this, the VStar and the VMax, this Charizard V came out to about, I believe it came out to about $12.77. And my apologies too, I sold this card for $8 initially, and then it went up for bidding to about $8.50, and then sold for about the average of $12.77, which is higher for, I believe, this Charizard V card on TCG market value. So then the second card that sold from this set is the Charizard V-Star. Now this is a really nice card. I actually bought another one of these in another listing from the same seller. He had a Charizard lot and then the 3 promo cards, and it had the Charizard V-Star in the first lot, and that one's in my personal collection, so that one's there for me. I really do like the art of this card, and I think it's really unique. I don't have the other side of the Mewtwo, and not that I really need it, I just like the Charizard side for what it is, and it is a little bit less expensive than the Mewtwo, but is the most expensive out of these 3 cards. So the Charizard V-Star, I know I had put up for about $19, and it eventually ended up getting bid up to $19.50, and then averaging out after shipping and fees, it's about $12.77 average price. So this is significantly lower than TCG market price, but you know, when you're averaging out the 3 prices for the 3 cards, some will be higher, some will be lower. So it was all combined shipped to this buyer that purchased it. So honestly, a really nice card, V-Star. And we'll go into the last one. So the last card that sold in this one is the Charizard VMax. Now this card is an interesting art. When I got the cards initially from the listing, the eBay seller had the Charizard cards in the sleeves with the Charizard VMax in it, or with the art on it, and it was really cool. I'd never seen that art design before, and this is quite a nice card, the Charizard VMax. I really do like how it's shooting the fire at an angle, and it is Gigantamax. But out of the 3 cards, personally, my favorite is the V-Star, which is why I have one in my personal collection right now. But this card was the last card of this listing that sold, and this card, I listed it up on eBay originally for about $17 and went up bidding to $17.50, so that's what it sold for. And then after taxes and fees, averaged to about $12.77. So if I remember correctly, the overall net profit for this one was $38.31 for all 3 cards. And this was an interesting listing because I didn't really know with the eBay standard envelope that there was limitations. I think I failed to look into that part. So with the eBay standard shipping label, you can't use that service if there are cards over $20 of value or over a $50 combined shipping value. And this one just hit the mark of about 50 and a little bit of change. And it was interesting because I didn't realize at the time that you couldn't do that till after I shipped this card out, but the options still came up for eBay standard envelope. But I am more aware of that now, because normally just in general practice over $20 I would do a different shipping service. But now that I know that the eBay standard envelope has limitations like that, I do watch out for that in terms of pricing, especially because it's a cumulative pricing for eBay to do that. But for this one it worked out, but in the future I probably won't utilize that service if I know the cards are going to add up over that combined shipping amount. So I just found it interesting that was an option. But all 3 of these promo cards sold, and I'd been holding out for a little bit on selling these cards just because I knew they would sell, and I was kind of waiting for the time, and now seemed to be the time. So pretty good there. And then the next card that sold this week was the Tinkatink full art card from Paldea Evolved. And this card is another one I got from that 30 card listing off Craigslist. And this one had been up on my eBay page for a little while. This card I also tried free shipping on, and once I turned on free shipping and upped the price just a little bit to make it even, then there was a buyer for this card. So I am leaning a little bit more towards free shipping. I'm testing it right now. I have some that are still pay shipping and free shipping, but I'm gearing more of my listings towards free shipping just because I'm testing the waters for that. But for Tinkatink, it basically sold for $5 on eBay, and then after shipping and fees came down to about $3.29 since I'm paying the shipping. So not too bad for this card. Glad to have it sold, and it's going to a better home, so the next person will enjoy this Tinkatink full art card, which is great for that person. So the next card that sold was the Miraidon promo card. Now this one I believe is a Scarlet and Violet promo from the ETB, and this is the first one that sold. I do have a second one, and this card I had listed up on my eBay page for quite a while. I think it relisted at least 3 or 4 times, and eBay only has a maximum of 8 relistings before they start charging you. So I definitely was watching out for that, but was grateful that someone purchased this card. And this card is a nice art, I have to admit. It's a really nice art, and it's really unique. So this card sold for about $3 on my eBay page, and after shipping and taxes it came out to about $2.13 net profit. So another card sold, and another card going to a good home with the buyer that bought this card. So the next card that's sold from this set is now a card I have a duplicate of, but I guess I don't anymore because this card just sold. So the card that sold was the Gardevoir trainer card from the trainer gallery, I believe from Silver Tempest. And this card also came from that 30 card Craigslist listing. And this card I didn't realize was lightly played until after I put this card up on eBay. I noticed in the picture that I took that there was whitening along the edge. So this card could pass as near mint, but I listed it as lightly played, and it did sell. I was afraid this card wasn't gonna sell that fast just because it wasn't near mint. I know that the edging is not too bad, and like the centering's not terrible either, and there's not really any big dents in the card, but I really wasn't sure about this card selling, but it did sell, so I'm happy that this one sold, because I do have another one currently that's actually in near mint condition that's on my eBay page right now that's listed to be sold to somebody. So this card sold on my eBay page for $2, and after shipping and fees, this card netted me a profit of about $1.29. So not too bad for this card, not too bad for a lightly played card, and this card is going to a good home, so that is really great. And then the next card that sold was the second Lunatone card that I have purchased from one of the listings. This listing I purchased with the Deoxys AR card and a lot of the Crown Zenith full art cards, one of the cheaper end Crown Zenith cards. And this was the set where I was trying to get the Deoxys AR card for my friend. This is the second Lunatone that I've sold so far. I've sold one already, and this is the second one. And after this one, I have one more that I got from another listing that is currently up on my eBay page right now. So the Lunatone art is very nice from Crown Zenith. I do like it. As I mentioned previously in the video, I have one of these in my personal collection as well, but I just didn't need more than one, so this card was able to find another home. So this card sold on my eBay page for about $2, and then with shipping and taxes it came down to a net profit of $1.27, which again is not too bad. And it's not going to be a lot for these $2 cards, but at least it's a little something, and this card is going to a good home, so that is great to see. And then the next card that sold this week was a card also from the 30 card lot from Craigslist, and this is one of the higher end, I guess you'd say, but not super high end card, still kind of on the cheap end. It's the Galarian Rapidash V card. This card was a lot more expensive than I thought it would be for a V card. I didn't realize that some of these V cards could be that expensive, but apparently, I guess, depending on what Pokemon and what kind of art it is, then it could be that expensive. So this card was on my eBay page, I want to say for about 3 rounds of listings, 3 or 4 rounds. I wasn't sure if this card was going to sell, and then this card finally sold to a buyer that is going to appreciate this card because they were excited about getting this card, as the Charizard promo buyer was as excited to get their card as well. So some of the buyers expressed their gratitude and expressed their excitement to me when I was going through the shipping process. So this is one of the buyers that I remember was excited to get their card after they purchased it. So this is the Galarian Rapidash V that sold for about $8 on eBay. After taxes and fees, I came out to about a net profit of $6.43. So pretty good for this card. I just didn't realize that this was a $8 valued card for a V card. I figured all the Vs were around $1, but as I said, I guess some of them range from different ranges of what the Pokemon is. So the next card that sold this week was the Irida trainer card. Now this is the card I got in trade with my friend that got the Deoxys VMax. I got the Cynthia Ambition and the Irida trainer card. The Irida trainer card has been up on my eBay page for at least 4 or 5 listings. It's been up there for a while. I wasn't even sure if this one was going to sell, and this one I had listed up for quite a bit, and then after that I was able to change it to free shipping, and then this card actually sold after I lowered it and then turned on free shipping. It's kind of out of the blue. Did not expect this card to be sold, so definitely very interesting there. And this card sold for about $10, and then after shipping and fees, because I had free shipping, it came out to about $7.51 net profit. So Pretty good for this card. It contributed between the Irida and the Cynthia's Ambition to a pretty good trade for the Deoxys VMax card that is now in my friend's collection. So that is great for the two trainer cards to finally go to good homes. And the last card this week that sold is the Radiant Eevee. Now this is one of the cards that I got from one of the more recent listings with the Eevees. I had two Radiant Eevees, English, one Japanese one, and then the WOTC Eevee vintage card. This card I thought was going to sell a lot earlier because there was a lot of interest in this card, but then there was no one that really committed to purchasing this card, and then I updated the photo actually because I wanted to improve the photo of the card, and then suddenly I got a bid on this card, so that was quite fascinating there. And I was just happy that one of the Radiant Eevees was going to be sold because I do have another one up on my eBay page right now that's currently being sold, so definitely glad that this one's going to a good home. And this card sold for about $6 on my eBay page, and then after shipping and fees it came down to about $4.72. So overall pretty good for this card, and happy to have had this card sell. But overall that was quite a few cards that I showed in this video, and there were probably, I would say, about half of them buyers were pretty excited to purchase these cards and have these cards. So these cards were all shipped out and they're all going to the buyers that purchased them. Now this week I would have had 2 more sales as of this moment, but I have not heard back from a couple of the buyers because sometimes that happens where there's not an auto pay for the bidding for auctions, and this is the downside of that on eBay, is that they don't have the auto pay, so you get paid to ship out their cards, so you have to kind of keep going and messaging them. And I'm hoping for the best that I can sell them those cards, otherwise I'll have 2 less sales this week, but that's okay because I had quite a few sales this week. I believe it's about like 13 cards that sold this week, so that's the most I've had so far. I'm thinking it's maybe because it's close to the holidays, but anyways, that's just a really great week, more than I expected. I don't think I'm going to have that many sales this upcoming week just because I don't have as much inventory ending this week, but I am testing the free shipping versus shipping. But the main goal right now for sales is trying to hit top rated seller on eBay, and if I did my math right, I think I'm about 15 to 20 sales away from being a top rated seller, which is quite surprising because I didn't think I'd do that by this time. I thought I'd be doing that by the end of January, so it's a possibility by the end of this year I may be a top rated seller, which would be great because that's the goal I'm shooting for right now, is more sales on my eBay page to hit that goal. So anyways, hope you guys like this video. It's quite a long one, and we'll see what next week holds for all the selling. So anyways, have a good one everyone. Peace.